Okay. Hello and welcome to WePlay D&D. I probably should have warned you that I was going to do a bit of an introductory spiel for this one, just because we are streaming.
And recording.
And recording. This is basically a bunch of us who are associated with the WePlay community getting together to play some D&D and have some fun. And we decided, why not share it with people? There was enough interest to consider it, and so we're going to give it a shot.
And Xenon really wanted us to.
Yeah, and Xenon really wanted us to. I am Rose. I am the DM who will be running everything and generally pulling my hair out at the antics of the rest of the party. Everyone introduce yourselves and your characters.
Let's see. I am in 5. My character is named Sylph. He's a wood elf ranger that's just come out of hermitage in the woods for about 50 years, actually, due to reasons that may eventually be uncovered. Beyond that, he is a very typical archer ranger, so that's what I'll be doing. Renee.
John.
Hi, I'm Wreni. I will be playing Ella Bartholomew Lipsig, a rock gnome wizard. She has taken a break from her work at the library back home and decided to go out adventuring to see if she can find some new and unique and magical things.
Knowledge. Lime?
Vince, go quick, because I'm fiddling with the decimal gain right now.
Sure. I'm Silence, a tiefling monk who, after the monastery was burned down, he left and joined the army. And after the horrible defeat at Blight Chapel Hill 3 years ago, Silence disappeared into the night. And then he met up with these guys. That's basically it.
Yep, that's about it.
Well, Go Me is a half-orc druid, who's my character, I'm Lime Man. And she's a bit mysterious right now, because she doesn't trust anybody, so I don't want to give too much away about her history or anything yet.
Alright.
And that's all?
Oh, and she looks slightly more human than orky, to be fair as well.
Yes. Okay, that's all of you. For the benefit of the stream, we roleplayed them meeting in a tavern and agreeing to become an adventuring group last session. And as we rejoin our heroes, they are travelling on their way from Whitehearth, this lovely town you see in front of you, along the road towards the Blacksteel Mining Company, where they are hopefully going to accept a contract for some gainful employment.
Excellent.
It is currently about 1 PM in the afternoon. The weather is... There's some clouds in the sky that look as if they could threaten to rain, but right now it's not.
Okay, well, I suppose following from last time, we left off with Sylph leading everyone into the forest, since I know exactly where it is. So, everyone, do you want to go or what? I mean, I know it looks like rain, but I think it'll be fine.
I'm down.
I can handle it, sure.
You can handle the rain.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing can stop me.
Do you need a lozenge?
No. I am acting. I think that was my voice the last time, yeah. Sounds about right, yes.
Sensing some Batman influence.
Yeah, Christian Bale. But in any case, I suppose Sylph, actually knowing the forest quite well as well, will lead everyone on the path to the Blackstone Mining Company off to the east.
Yes, it's off to the east. There is actually quite a well-worn path, because they're constantly bringing wagon shipments here, and sort of miners walk in and out almost every day. So it's not as wild as you generally have. It's quite a well-worn dirt road, and you walk down it for maybe half an hour, and you actually see a wagon coming the other way. There's sort of a crowd of people around it, maybe a good 10 various humanoids, a few dwarfs, mostly humans, and they're looking quite agitated and panicky.
Let's go see what's wrong.
Interesting.
I'll trot up and ask what's going on.
They'll sort of... One will look down at you, the one drawing the wagon, or steering the wagon, and will sort of just pull it to a halt. You hear groaning from the back of the wagon, and you can't actually see from where you are what's causing it. Mainly because the wagon is about 2 times as tall as you are.
Yeah.
But he sort of says, we're bringing wounded back from the Black Steel Mining Company. There's been an accident.
Oh shit.
What kind of accident, friend?
I don't know. I was up processing ore up top when suddenly these guys burst out of the mine claiming they'd been attacked.
Ooh, we might be going into a fight then.
You sound excited.
She just stands there quietly.
Sylph attempts to walk around and take a peek at what's making the groaning noise.
Okay, you walk around and sort of... the wagon's sort of designed more to shift ore than humans, but they've sort of stuck some blankets and coats down and tried to make it as comfortable for the people in the back as possible. But there's about 3 humans in there, all in sort of various states of injury. One's got a heavily bandaged leg, the other's got his arm basically in a sling, the other's got a bandage around his head sort of covering one eye, and you can sort of see a dark red patch there. They actually look really badly beaten up, almost if they were caught in a cave-in or similar.
Well, I guess our path is now clear. Any objections? Let's go.
Lead the way.
Can we not heal them? Like, is that not like something we could do? Aren't you a healer?
Who?
Sylph?
Sylph? No, Sylph's a ranger.
Who's a healer?
I-
Anybody a healer?
I have healing magic, but if I use that, we won't be able to use it later.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna need those magic spells later.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
They-
Bad.
They look pretty stable, and sort of White Hearth is big enough that you know that when they get back there, they'll be able to receive healing and sort of be back on their feet in not too long a time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Alright.
Could we maybe question the injured parties about what actually attacked them, or are they like too out of it?
You can. The one with the head injury is more or less out of it. You can't really make sense from him, but from the other 2, you can try and ask questions.
Right. You there with the bandage.
Aye.
Tell me what attacked you.
I'm not sure. We were down on the 3rd floor, bringing in the latest delivery of blasting powder. Christ. I don't know. We were just down the elevator offloading barrels, and then I saw the others come running around the corner. There was something behind them. I felt something hit my leg, and I looked down, and there was this bolt sticking out of it. In the general chaos, I was pushed back onto the platform and lifted up, and that's all I saw.
All right. Sounds like goblins.
That's quite a leap.
Hey, it sounds indicative of goblins. It's a cave, I don't know.
Just because it's a cave does not mean it's goblins.
Is that speciesist?
I think it's a race,
Species.
so
It's
it would be
racial
race.
profiling, I think.
Yeah.
Although
While,
I'd be angry
while
if you
goblins
called me an
generally
orc.
sort of do hang out in caves or cave-like structures, them attacking a populated mine doesn't necessarily sound goblinish.
Unless
They're
there's-
more scavengers / survivalists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They prefer abandoned places as opposed to openly attacking people.
Maybe there's something down there worth fighting for, though. We don't know.
Well, yeah.
So,
Well, we have a job there. It's probably to go kill whatever was killing these people, which means a good fight, which means we should be ready.
Okay.
We should.
Well, let's go.
I've got everything I
Absolutely.
need. I'll lead the way. Let's go.
You sort of part ways with the miners. They start the wagon moving again, and you start moving this time with a bit more purpose and sort of a slight more speed towards the mine. When you do reach the mining compound, it's sort of a small wall structure, just like a kind of primitive wooden wall in a semicircle up against the cliff face. There's sort of two people on guard at the gate who sort of point crossbows at you and sort of say, you know, who are you? What are you doing here?
Sylph looks up at them and says, "We're here to help, my good man. We heard of a cave-in and other possible trouble. Please let us in so that we may help you."
One second. Make a diplomacy check.
Let's see. Diplomacy? I'm not...
Persuasion.
Ah,
Sorry.
persuasion. Okay, I thought they got rid of diplomacy. Persuasion.
Okay. He sort of lowers his crossbow, grunts, and sort of... You want to talk to Aldrich. He should be organizing things in there.
Okay, well then let's make our way to Aldrich. Aldrich?
Aldrich.
Aldrich.
Sounds like a plan.
You sort of... He opens the door for you, sort of like... the gate for you, and you step inside, and you sort of see a fair bit of activity happening. Sort of people moving things, sort of preparing other things. There's a couple of people sort of guarding the mine with crossbows pointed at the door, sort of thing. Meanwhile, there's other people loading ore and sort of other valuables onto carts, etc. And in the middle of it all, sort of bossing people around and looking pretty angry and pretty annoyed, you see a dwarf in black chainmail armor. And he looks to be the one in charge.
Go talk to himself.
Okay,
I
well,
bet that's the guy.
Sylph charges right up to him. "I believe you're Eldrick, aren't you? What can we do to help?"
It's Aldrich. Who the
Aldrich.
bloody hell are you?
We just got word from Mira and Whitehearth that you may need some help. And we saw the miners on the road that were injured by something in the mine. What's going on? What can we help with?
Well, if you saw the miners, you probably know as much as me. About an hour ago, they came charging out of there, squealing something about being attacked. And it weren't half 10 minutes ago when bloody smoke started pouring out of the bloody mine. And sort of looking towards the mine door, you can sort of now see sort of wisps of quite dark smoke sort of coming out and floating up into the air. And he then sort of turns and gestures to all the workers and says, "And none of these bloody cowards are brave enough to go down and see what all the commotion's about."
Have you gone down and seen what all the commotion is about?
He turns to you and sort of gives you a withering glare and says, "I ain't dumb enough to go down by myself."
Then we shall do it for you. For some gold, of course.
Well, he sort of nods and sort of says, If you're willing to go down there, I'll happily pay you, assuming you come back up."
How much?
Works for me.
No, I want to know how much.
50 gold.
Per person?
Total.
Oh.
That's too little. You sneaky dwarf.
Yeah, but
Make a deployment or make a persuasion check.
yeah.
I bet I
Alright.
went there.
Yeah, he sort of just looks you in the eye and says 50 gold.
Per person.
Total.
Oh. I really want to buy a diamond.
Sylph just... Okay, guys. Look, Gnome, keep my share of the gold. Let's go. Let's take care of this before it blows up in our face.
Alright, guys. I'm writing that down.
With that, Aldrich sort of holds out his hand and sort of you shake and agree to the deal. And he leads you over to the entrance of the mine. Getting closer, you can sort of see it's a dwarven style lift, so it's a wooden platform which descends downwards at an angle. Nearby are two donkeys who operate a large treadmill which powers it. And he sort of takes a lantern and sort of hangs it in the middle of the lift and sort of says, "This all started on the 3rd floor. That's probably where you're going to find these creatures. If it's too much, just come back up and we'll renegotiate the pay. However, some of my miners still haven't come out of there. Not only that, we just received shipment of a large supply of blasting powder. So be careful with open flames down there."
Mm-hmm.
Gomi leans in closer to everybody and says, "We can all see in the dark, right?" I mean, I can.
I can.
I can.
I can too.
Alright.
No need for an open flame then, I guess.
I take the...
With that, he just sort of shrugs and blows out the oil lamp he was going to hang on the lift and gestures on, for you guys to step onto it.
I don't like elevators.
I both pat... I'm sorry, what's your...
Ella.
Okay. I pat Ella on the shoulder while, very slowly pushing her towards the elevator and say, "Okay, then, let's go."
Once you get onto the lift, and it's quite a large lift, like you could easily fit 10 people plus cargo on this lift. He nods to a nearby worker who basically jips the donkeys into moving, and the lift starts descending slowly into the mine.
Alright, as it starts descending, I'm going to use my awesome elf eyes and take a peek, squint down and try to see where we're headed if possible, and what's going on.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. With that, you can pierce the darkness and sort of see down into the mine. There seems to be several floors, and you do remember that he said the problems were on the third floor, which is where sort of you can primarily see the smoke, which is sort of currently going over your heads, is coming out of. It's maybe 150 feet down, and with the current rate of the elevator, you think it will take you a few minutes to get down there. It's not a very fast-moving piece of machinery.
In that time, Gomi's going to ready her shield and her staff.
Yep. You can sort of take this time to prepare all your things.
Yep.
Take stuff out your backpack if you want it, and sort of leave them on the elevator where they'll be safe.
I'm just going to look up this quick, so I don't think it lasts very long. 1 minute, I'll wait till we're actually down there then, since it's bonus.
Yep. And so you all sort of prepare and ready yourselves as you descend into darkness and arrive on the third floor of the mines.
Hey, Gomi.
Yeah.
And so entering this area as the lift sort of comes to a stop, you can sort of see a few crates scattered around in a generally quite dark mine, but quite well made. There's a lot of supports and stuff. And you can sort of see a tunnel going ahead before it obviously veers to the right ahead of you.
Once the lift hits the bottom, Gomi's going to run over into that corner and just peer around here, keep an eye on it, and signal for everyone else to move up.
Are you trying to be stealthy?
I mean, I could try, but the idea was to try and get a little bit of cover before we get into the mine proper. So I guess it is stealthy in a way.
If you want to move and sort of take cover, that's fine as well. Stealth is more trying to move silently.
Yeah.
Considering the elevator just clunked down, I wouldn't be worried about that.
No, very true.
In that case,
Gomi tries anyway and probably fails miserably rolling an 8, so...
Okay, Sylph stealthily attempts to take position. Just over here so I can get an angle into the tunnel there.
Yep.
While everyone's getting in position, I got a question for Gomi. Can you make fire?
I can. But is it really a good idea when it's blasting powder?
I just want to make sure at least one person can make fire in case it is a useful thing we need to do.
Oh, yeah, I can make fire.
Okay.
Fire's fun.
Good. Never mind then. Thank you.
So you all have dark vision up to 60 feet, and so you can all easily see to the end of this passageway until it veers off. You can't see anything. There's no movement. There's still sort of the smoke swirling overhead, but past that, nothing.
Do we, can I, Sylph attempts to see if he can hear anything before moving up.
Yep, make a perception check.
Okay.
With that, you think you can hear something from within the mine. It's almost like a yipping sound.
Uh-oh.
Like quite excited sort of yipping / talking.
Okay, Okay.
But it's a very sort of gibbering style talk, very sort of fast-paced and kind of high-pitched.
Okay. So Sylph looks around at everyone. Okay, everyone, I think I'm the stealthiest one here. I'm going first. Does anyone want to back me up?
Wouldn't
Everyone?
it
Yeah.
be wiser for me and Silence to go first? I mean, you've got a
I'm the
bow. I'm
ninja,
assuming you're
so-
better at long range.
With that, Sylph says, go right ahead.
I should probably lead the way.
Gomi just nods.
I will bring up the rear.
All right,
Who
so
won?
Silence moves 30 feet. I want to peer behind that corner as well.
Yep. I'm just gonna...
With
Nice. Right. There's nothing here.
Make a perception check for me.
Wait, he's already declared it.
Okay, with a 16, what you can see, give me a second, is, select it here, yep, is a rope tied between these two posts at sort of ankle level for you.
sneaky. All right. Well, I will tell my fellow party members about this rope that I see. It
Yep.
kind of looks like a trap to me.
Okay.
Alright.
With that, Sylph again attempts to stealthily move up.
Yep. You sort of stealth up, and yeah, you can see sort of basically the same as Silence sees, a hallway with a rope tied between two posts at the end.
Okay.
And again, you can hear that gibbering coming from the end of the hallway.
Okay. I motion for my colleagues to follow.
Gomi just shakes her head and trudges up, not even trying to be stealthily.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not even
Lands
gonna
there.
try. Oh wait, I can't move very far, can
We're,
We're out of
we're
combat.
not in combat right now, so
Ah.
movement isn't as important.
I? Okay.
Oh, is it me again?
We're not in combat, so it's anyone who wants to act.
Yep.
All right.
Silence, shall we move up? You're the
Yeah.
stealthy one after all. Be a
Yes,
ninja.
Robin. I mean, Gomi. Yes, yes, we should.
Gomi just
I
says
kinda
under
wanna
breath,
move-
one day I can be a Robin.
I kind of want to move here.
Okay. Before you do,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
get as far as there. When underneath the dirt and the dust, you step on something sharp which pierces your foot.
Oh.
Make a DC dexterity saving throw.
Oh, if only you had advantage.
Oh.
Sadly, you don't. You take 1 point of piercing damage and sort of have to stop as this thing digs into the bottom of your foot. Pulling your foot up, you essentially see a caltrop, sort of a spike, which had been hidden underneath sort of a layer of soft dust.
Do the others see this as well?
Yes, they do. Sort of, once you sort of call out and pull it out, it now becomes a lot easier to spy the sort of small little pointed tip sticking up sort of barely just a few millimeters out of the dust.
With that, Sylph tries to move up and actually through the caltrops, if possible, without stepping upon any of them.
Yep, so again, make a dexterity saving throw. Or, actually no, you can move at half speed to get through without making the saving throw. So, as soon as you get to... Actually, yeah, as soon as you get to there, you see more of the area. You sort of see what looks to be an upturned workbench, sort of hastily shoved up against here. And you can sort of, with your earlier perception check, you can definitely hear noises coming from behind it.
Okay, Sylph once again gestures for everyone to move up.
I'm gonna move very slowly across these things to get over.
Yep, you can all move at half speed and get over.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm coming. There we go.
Can I try to see what this rope is, if it is a trap, what it's hooked to?
Yep, you can. It essentially looks to be a hastily made tripwire. On one side of it, it sort of just goes up and is attached to a sort of very bashed and dented looking bell. So it's quite old, quite rusted, but it is a bell.
Let's not trigger that.
So Sylph again attempts to move up stealthily and tiptoe over the tripwire.
Yep. As soon as you get there, the angle is such where you can see over the workbench, and you see 3 lizard people looking up at you.
Great.
They all seem to be clutching pots of something in their hands, and they sort of give out a yell and throw them all straight at your head. 1 second.
Duck.
Okay. Thankfully, because they were taken by surprise, all of them miss you, hitting the wall or the ceiling around you and sort of showering the area with what you realize is oil.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
These were oil pots.
Good job I didn't bring that lantern.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll initiative, everyone.
Okie dokie.
See if this goes better than it did in practice. That's a bit better.
How do you do that? I forgot how to do this.
It's just right above your hit points.
That would be why. No, it's not.
It says initiative.
No, it doesn't. Oh, I got it. Thanks.
Don't tell me I'm wrong. I'm staring at it. Anyway.
Cattywampus.
Yeah, I got, you wanted to send the result of this roll to the turn tracker, but no valid token was selected.
Yeah, I got that and all.
Okay, 1 second.
At least it's working some of the time now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they rolled a 17 on their initiative. with excited gibbering, these kobolds, as you now realise what they are, pull out slings and start swinging them, and 2 of them let loose at you. Which is... 1 second, let me grab the monster manual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as you said yipping, I was like, kobolds?
You should have told us.
Well,
Or
I know
puppies.
that.
What'd you say?
I said all puppies.
Or puppies?
Yeah.
Boy, wouldn't that have been nice.
Okay.
Puppies with
They're
slings.
less likely to shoot at us.
We could have just cuddled them. Cuddly puppies.
Stop staring at our cuddly puppies.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. The 2 kobolds together, one rolled a 21 and the other rolled a 22.
Alright. This is gonna be fun, guys.
Good. I got my pen right here for when I become.
I'm guessing both of those hit.
Yep.
Okay. In which case, you take 4 points of damage as the rocks basically smack into your chest.
Oh!
The third one, meanwhile, will basically spend both its actions to reach towards a bandolier on its chest and pull off 2 more sort of small clay pots. One looks to be similar to the oil pots from before, but the other one looks different and kind of worrying. And that is their turn. Go me. You're up.
I'm not going to give a crap about this bell anymore because obviously they're alerted anyway. Gomu's going to move up to here, and then do I want to do it that way? She'll drop her staff because I can't do it whilst I'm wielding it, just at her feet, bending down, and she'll launch a produce flame bolt at whichever guy had the pots in his hand.
Yep, that would be the middle one.
And that's going to be a miss.
Yes, that will be a miss. Okay. Next up is Ella. You can't see these things yet. All you've seen is a bunch of pots and stones come flying over the bench.
Where's the oil?
The oil has currently splashed, 1 second, into sort of this general area. It's on the ground, but sort of due to the dust and dirt, it's been absorbed and it isn't difficult terrain.
Okay.
So you're not going to fall over from walking through it.
No, I'm just gonna stay near it. I'm just gonna move up behind Sylph.
Okay.
Behind Sylph. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do for right now.
Okay. Next up is Sylph.
Okay. Quite annoyed at being hit with several rocks, I take aim at the middle kobold with my longbow.
Yep. 18 hits.
Okay.
And oh yeah, there's the damage at the bottom. Yep. Sort of in irritation and retaliation, you basically easily draw an arrow back and just send one flying straight into the chest of this kobold. It flies back against the wall and sort of just sort of stares at the arrow bolt and sort of quietly dies. The pots falling to the floor, sort of just rolling out of its hands.
Okay.
The other two sort of look at it in shock and alarm.
All right. Can I jump all the way up here?
You can. That would require a acrobatics check to basically vault over the bench.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do it.
Well, check this out.
Bam!
Yeah.
Wow.
With 20, you sort of easily vault over, now sort of landing in the space where the kobold once stood, literally just a moment prior.
Like a ninja. All right. I'm gonna kick the right one. The
Yep.
face. One of those.
I am just revealing more of the area for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, 13 hits.
Yeah.
And 3 points of damage. He is still up, but he is not looking happy about that. He is looking quite panicked, and one of them will draw a dagger and attempt to attack you. It has advantage because of the other kobold. Advantage. I believe a 14 misses.
I don't know.
What's your AC?
13.
13?
Close.
Okay, that just hits.
Smash.
You
Give me the
take-
damage.
You take 4 points of damage as the dagger basically sinks into your thigh.
Jesus Christ. All right.
It will then turn around and start to flee. You get a attack of opportunity against it.
Yeah, I want that.
So just basic melee attack.
You got a free dagger, though.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Kick
an
that
8
stick
misses.
out of my side.
I will also remind you that against the one you just attacked on the right, you could have had a unarmed attack as a bonus action.
Yeah, I thought that was if I missed.
No, that's
No, that's any time.
Yeah,
As long as you make that attack.
that's true. But I was last time I missed everything, so I just assumed. I was trying to look that up while we were talking here, but I didn't find.
No, that's just whenever you make a monk style attack, you can get a free bonus action to attack again.
Yep, that's true.
I'll actually let you make that attack now if you want, due to that misunderstanding.
Sure. There we go.
Take him out.
12 hits. And that takes him down.
Smash.
So as the dagger basically pierces you, you, without even thinking, sort of lash out and smack the other one in the face, stopping it, as even then it sort of had its own dagger raised, about to try and attack you from behind. You basically just Batman fist it. Without even looking, you just bring your fist up and smack it in the snout, sending it down to the ground.
Good job, me.
I applaud.
And sort of, yeah, that's as far as that one goes. It is shouting and gibbering quite excitedly. Gomi, your turn.
What's the rules of picking up my weapon? Because my intention was to just drop it at my feet, fire, and then pick it back up again. Is that still
Instead of dropping it to your feet, you could literally just stick it in your offhand, and that would give you a free hand to attack.
Ah, that's true. Yeah, because I was thinking I got my shield in my offhand, but if you could hold both...
You can still sort of... You can't block or attack effectively when you have both
Yeah.
in the one hand, but it still would leave your hand free for spell casting.
Okay, that's cool. Do I have to do an acrobatics check just across this, or can I just step over it?
No, you could spend half your movement to step over it, or you could try a strength check to just sort of drag it out the way.
I ain't doing that. My strength is awful.
But sort of, yeah.
Okay, what I'll do then is... Gomi will cross and then go to that point.
Yep.
And... what do I do? I'm guessing... Oh, I'll give it a go. I'll try and intimidate it and say stop. Now, but I'm
Okay.
assuming it can't speak common anyway. But I'll give that a
it
go.
can. You wouldn't really know, but it can.
Okay. Well, I'll roll it then and we'll see.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It sort of comes to a stop, sort of quivering and sort of quite timidly, as sort of this huge, just sort of almost bestial roar of just stop comes out of you.
Yeah. Cool. And Gomi's just going to grimace at him for now.
Yep.
No grimace like an orcish grimace.
Indeed. Glad I get the thing for intimidation from orcs.
Ella, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go up to this table, and I think I've got just enough movement to like climb on top of it.
Yep.
And I'm kind of gonna watch how it unfolds, because these close quarters are not friendly for my spells at all.
You sort of seeing Silence jump over and then sort of Gomi rapidly follow him. You're sort of comfortable feeling you can take your time with just sort of moving up and climbing over the
I'm
bench.
just gonna sit on it.
Yep. Sylph.
Do I have a shot at that last kobold right there?
You do.
Okay.
It would maybe... It has cover. It's sort of half obscured by the natural wall of the cave. But you still could potentially shoot it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll try to get a better look at it. So I use my movement to just climb again on top of the bench.
Yep. You struggle a bit more staying on top of the bench due to the fact that it sticks your head up into the smoke, which causes you to sort of cough and is quite irritating to your eyes. So you probably want to move over the bench.
Okay, so I'll just move just right over the bench there.
Yep.
And then trying to take a shot around Gomi there.
Don't shoot Gomi.
I'm not going to... Well, I hopefully won't shoot Gomi, but try to take a shot at that last kobold.
A 15... Cover bonus. That does hit.
Sweet.
Six piercing damage. It's sort of having frozen in place. It sort of just turns quivering just in time to basically get an arrow between the eyes from you, and it just sort of collapses into a pile.
Good job, everyone. Excellent work.
I noticed you
Gomi
did a
looks
lot of...
back at Sylph.
Do what?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. What were you saying, M5?
Sylph turns to Ella and says, I saw you helped a lot yourself.
True leader. It's important.
Gomi looks around at Sylph and going, I was going to ask him a few questions, but I guess killing him was perfectly good.
Sylph is suitably admonished and sort of kicks some dirt and just is, a little embarrassed that he didn't even think to question.
And then Gobi says, hold up a second. I can heal our wounds, and I'm going to cast... What's it called? Goodberry, that one.
Yep.
How much damage have both of you taken so far?
Let's see.
I'm down 5 so far.
Yeah, Silence definitely needs him more than me. I did take 4 points of damage.
Well, the way this spell works is I make 10 berries, just magic berries in my hand, and each one heals 10 HP, so I can split it between you both.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And then any I have left over I can just shove in a pocket if we're under 10 damage already, obviously.
Magical berries.
Magical berries, awesome. Okay, then... Okay.
So how much is that combined then? Like, I'll give 5 to Silence.
So you'll have 1 left.
Okay, I'll just shove 1 in my pocket for now then. Or in like a pouch or something.
Okay, and so, yep, you sort of eat these berries. They look like the brightest, juiciest raspberries you've ever eaten. And sort of, as you eat them, sort of, Silence, the wound in your leg sort of starts to heal up, and sort of, the bleeding stops, new tissue forms, and you've got a bit of a scar there, but it looks like a scar that will fade.
Nice.
Sylph, as for you, sort of the pain in your chest fades as well, and sort of, it's a bit easier to breathe now, and you're definitely feeling better than you were before.
Sylph puts his hand on Gomi's shoulder. Thank you so much. That was excellent. We'll need more of that.
I called them crackberries.
Excellent.
These are really good. Maybe with some chocolate?
Oh, I can't do that. Bring your own chocolate next time.
I'll get chocolate. When we camp, we can do like a dip them in the chocolate. Yeah? Chocolate covered crackberries.
Okay, with that, Sylph attempts to hear, just to see if there's anything additional that he can hear or see.
I'm gonna loot a body.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to get to that.
Yeah.
So, in any case, while they're doing that, I'll step around them and peek down this eastern corridor here and attempt to see if there's anything additional.
Okay, well, you can't see anything other than there is a barricaded sort of tunnel to the left. It looks like it was constructed by miners, I will point that out. So, it's a more proper sort of doorway structure with wood and sort of a big do not enter sign on it. The other thing you notice is there's no smoke in this direction. Whatever is causing this billowing smoke overhead is coming from the other direction.
Sylph turns to everyone else and says, I think we need to go the other way. There's no smoke down here. If we want to find out what's causing the fire, we need to get down the other way to the west.
Okay. While Sylph was sort of doing that and checking that out, are you looting all 3 kobolds or just the 2 by the bench?
I think Gobi would say check those bodies, and then she'll go stand here and keep an eye down the hallway for now.
Okay, you can do that.
So the third one can wait for a little bit.
Checking the other body, checking the 2 bodies on the bench, you find in a pouch 3 silver pieces.
Here, money.
You find 1 more pot of oil, that sort of one of them had on its bandolier, and you also pick up the 2 pots that it had when it died, that the other kobold had when it died. One is sort of popping the cork on them. You can sort of see that one is oil, and the other one, Ella, you recognize this as a pot of alchemist's fire.
I want it. In a
Okay.
safe place. In a very, very safe place. I think it's
You sort of realize now that you're quite glad that he didn't manage to throw it, because you were standing in a huge sort of puddle of oil at the time.
Yeah, and it kind of negated what I was going to do if that happened. So, very happy. Can't extinguish alchemist's fire like that.
Yep. And so, yeah, also there are sort of the daggers and slings that they had. However, they are of kobold quality. So the dagger is basically just a strip of leather wrapped around a sharp fragment of metal, and the slings are basically just torn rags. They're not really worth picking up.
No,